I mean, a lot of people, yes, they want to know this and dive deep, into you writing this book. But I think right now it's important to track back to the story that led you to write the book. Can you please take us through that?
Yeah, I started writing about 6 years ago, but around 4 years, then I stopped. Around 4 years ago, while in prison, I woke up one morning and I just wanted to die. I just wanted to kill myself. So I set myself alight in my single cell, and I almost burned to death. But luckily, nothing happened to me. And the plan was never to write a book. So I always wanted to note things down to use against the prison. But initially, when one day I went through my notes with someone, they encouraged me to turn it into a book, and that's how the book came about.
Yeah, it's a very inspiring story because I will tell you that whoever someone who is watching and listening right now, it's for them sometimes they feel like what, if problems and challenges come in your life, you should not deal with them and maybe take your life. We've seen that people, so many stories of people taking their lives and without motivation. Can you please take us through on what's that main decision, what's that thing that came to your mind to come up with solutions to challenges that you had?
I first had to become sober. I was addicted to drugs for 22 years. So the only me I knew was the drug addicted me, the high me. Being sober was one of the biggest scares of my life. So I had to make that decision to become sober. And once I became sober, I realized that I could think freely, that I could think rationally, that I could make decisions that would benefit my own life. So for me, the biggest thing was I had to become sober. I had to stop using drugs, and not even the physical drugs, but using it mentally, because it all starts up here. I get high by thinking about it long before I go to smoke. So I had to change my mind. I had to start over.
So for a young person right now who is under the influence of drugs, what advice do you have for them so that they can prevent and do not do the same mistakes that you went through?
Drug adds nothing to your life. All drugs does is taking away. Drugs is the only place where you don't know yourself. Drugs is the only place that will eventually land you up in prison, in an institution, or death. Those are the only paths for drugs. The problem is we all want to fit in. And sometimes we want to fit into places that doesn't even fit us. So when you get addicted to drugs, you get addicted to validation also. But once you start to value your own life, you will see that no, man, I didn't even need to go there. I didn't even needed to be like everyone else. Maybe I could have been my own person and still excel in it. So to a young person listening or going through drug addiction right now, my advice would be to get a way to get out, because every day of using is a day deeper into your own grave that you are digging. That's all. Drugs won't add anything to your life. It only takes away.
Yeah, very, very interesting and insightful, and thank you for that. But now let us dive deeper into the book, because now I just want to get into speaking with hitting rock bottom. Can you share some of the moments in your book that reflect the lowest points of your life?
One of the lowest points of my life was writing myself off. In writing myself off, I automatically let go of responsibility, the responsibilities of being a father, a partner, the responsibility of being a sibling and a child. So once I didn't have those responsibilities, I hit rock bottom. Rock bottom is a place where even when you look up, you see no hope for yourself. I was in that place. I was in a place where I was dead walking. I was in a place where rock bottom meant that nothing or no one mattered. The only thing that matters is me getting my next fix. And it kills you. It literally takes a lifetime to get yourself back. Rock bottom is a place that I wouldn't wish on anyone, not even my worst enemy, because that is the only place of darkness, the only place that you don't want to see.
Yeah. I mean, for someone who is watching right now, I know a lot of us, we have heard that relapsing is the path to recovery. Is that true?
No, it's not true. It's not true. When I got sober, it had to be one day at a time. Relapsing is going back to where you are coming from. So how will I heal if I go back to hurt myself to come back and heal? Get healed, go back to hurt myself. You see, the problem is understanding what addiction is. If you don't understand what addiction is, then you will always lapse and relapse. You understand? But once you know what addiction is and does to you, you will understand that, no, I can't relapse, I can't go back. A relapse, people that relapses are people that thinks that they know. I'm going on 8 years clean, but I understand that I don't know. That is why I'm always careful. That is why I know where not to be, where not to go, who not to mix with. You understand? So relapsing is me initially mixing with people that are detrimental to my own life.
Very interesting. Because now you mentioned that you are 8 years clean, I want us to speak about recovery, because for most of the people it is difficult. So in terms of recovering, what was the turning point for you that made recovery become possible to you?
Like I said, I wanted myself back. The only me I knew was the drug addicted me. So after the fire in the cell, I was locked up in solitary confinement for 30 days. And the turning point came there. I was sober in there. There was no cigarettes, there was no drugs, there was nothing. The only thing that was there was me with me. You understand? So I became sober. When I came out, I met, in fact, the first people I met was a group by the name of Men of War. They were already pushing this recovery thing. They were also recovering drug addicts and trying to help people. So I was one of the lucky ones who got a chance to mix with people that were sober, that were striving to be sober every day. So recovery is one of the most difficult things to do. You see, with addiction, if I get angry, I get sad, if I feel some type of way, all I can do is go and smoke. With recovery, I can't go and smoke to make me feel better. The only thing I need to do is to stay sober to make me feel better.
Interesting. And now you are coming out, and you're going to face the realities outside, becoming sober. Let's speak support, because we know that people who are recovering, they need support from their families. Is it something that you got from your family, or it's something that you established yourself?
You need family support, but how can someone that I took everything from, support me. You see, people needed to trust me first, because I think I relapsed 4 times already on my journey of drug addiction. So every time when I got sober, there was hope, but a few weeks later it was a relapse. So they didn't trust me, but they needed to take their chance. But me also, I had to prove to them daily. So like I'm saying, the recovery process is a one-day thing. So I had to show them every day. It was their decision to start to trust me. But I had to prove to them daily that this is what I want. This is who I wanted. I even had to decide and tell my family that these are the kind of people that you don't allow to in the yard or to come and see me, and these are the kinds of people that can come and see me. And also I had to open up to them and tell them that I don't like this way, this is what I like. You understand? So initially, with the support structure, the whole family dynamics changes, because I cannot change if I go back to a place where everything is still the same. Do you understand? Do you see what makes it difficult? Is because now that I am sober, I come back to a place where everything else is still the same. I'm the only person that changed. Do you understand? So I needed them to also change, or at least adjust some certain things to the ways that I was starting to love.
Interesting, because we know that positive impact really plays huge part in our lives. So now you are working with the community of Eden Park.
Yes.
Sorry. I just want us to speak about how your past has shaped the role that you are playing in the community of Eden Park.
I was one of the people in Eden Park that helped to break down my community, really break it down. So, and then back then I was intoxicated. So when I got sober and I stood from a purpose of being sober and I looked at the community, I saw that you caused damage. So that was always my drive, to try and give back where I took away. The reason why I'm giving back to the community is because I am trying to build it back up to where it was, because before I started to help break it down.
And now let's get into the support group that you have created, called the Affected Family Support Group. What inspired you to create it?
Because when you live with a drug addict especially, everything about the family changes, even in society. So when I decided to become sober, the hurt and the pain, the scars was still left on my family. So I went to deal with myself. The addict always gets a chance to deal with themselves. Most people goes to rehab. In the rehab, they deal with him, he comes back sober. But there is still the hurt, that big scar that he left on the family. People can't still leave their phones on the table. Everyone wants you to go and sleep before they sleep. Do you understand? So Affected Families is a support group for people that are dealing or were dealing with someone that had a substance abuse problem. But we outsourced. We are also talking about mental health in youth, mental health in men. And we are also speaking about the pressures that society has on the pastor's child. Most pastors' children are using drugs, most of them. And the pastor doesn't have a platform to speak about drugs, because people will point him back to, but how are you praying? Your child is using drugs. So we are trying to show society that the pastor is a man first before he's the pastor. We want to believe that pastors have superpowers and things like that. So affected families is the kind of support group where we bring people, hurt people together so that they can heal each other. Like we are doing in our drug addiction support groups. The idea was always that let's bring these people together. Maybe they can also speak about their hurt and their pain, and it can maybe change lives. And yes, it is. There is a drastic change. There is a difference. People are starting to heal, and that's the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah, it is very beautiful because I have to tell you, I mean, with the works that you guys are doing, I've seen so many people, giving up, especially on the youth that, do drugs on the streets. So what I want to ask you now is the challenges, worst challenges that you've ever faced with somebody who is doing drugs, especially maybe a young person or it might be an elder person. What was the situation and what was the challenge?
See, me as a recovering drug addict, I can relate. I always go as low as I can because I can relate. I always go into the dirty places, into the lolly lounges, or even to the mindset that I understand. And once a drug addict notices that you understand, you see, when I became clean and sober, I physically became clean also. So me wearing my white t-shirt, I cannot go and hug someone who is smoking out there. But once I forget about the color of the t-shirt, I can see through the color of his heart. And one of the things that we hate as drug addicts is being loved. Do you understand? So once you show compassion to a person, you are breaking down walls. Do you understand? So for me, it is easier to go and speak to a person because I go from a point of understanding. But it is very, very, very difficult to deal with a drug addict. Someone lessoned me in this, that drugs is an acronym for Devil's Revenge upon God's children or God's servants. So we have to speak about what the devil is doing through drugs. You can speak to someone now, you can help them see reason, they can even decide to go to a rehab. But I always say, when I leave this conversation right now, you will get 10 valid reasons why you shouldn't believe me by the time I get to the door. Do you understand? So there is something else, there's another force that is behind this. That is why it is so difficult for people to stay sober or to become sober. You must also understand, becoming sober is entering an arena that you don't know, coming to a place that you don't know. I know when I'm smoking this morning, I must go to Snyman, to Kaka, and then my day is starting. If I don't smoke, I don't know what I'm going to do today. So most people rather do what they know how to do. You understand?
Just to cope with
the pressures of society when you are sober. Bruh, that's why I said the responsibility. Being a drug addict takes away responsibility, so I don't need to be. There's no need for me to be responsible. You understand? But once I become sober, I need to become responsible. You see, so that is another lesson of drug addiction. Responsibility. But it doesn't take one man to do this. This is it takes teamwork. It needs a lot of people to talk to one person and make them understand, help them understand that your life is not over.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Because I just love how you mentioned, approaching, someone who is under influence with compassion. Because I think it breaks down the misconception that a lot of people have that certain drugs, when somebody is doing certain drugs, like they won't come back. It's over. When you're doing nyaope, it's over.
They come back.
Yes.
They do come back.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. There is two people that I speak about in this book. The lady that helped me, her name is Shonat said, Lillian Shonat said, she edited the book for me.
Yeah.
So when we spoke and I told her about these people here in our community, it was something that she couldn't believe. You understand? So there's this one young lady that always used to pick up food from the ash heap on the corner where people go in and dump things. So she was deep into it. She was spiking nyaupe, she was using everything, eating from the dustbins and everything. And today she's clean.
Wow.
Do you understand? So getting clean is a mindset.
Yeah.
But the mindset needs to be, I want to be clean, not someone needs me to be clean. So that is how we remind people, what do you want?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because if you want someone clean, they will get clean for your reasons. And once they realize that they have nothing in your reasons, they will go back.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. So, as you have written this book, do you see yourself writing another one?
Yes, yes, of course. Yes, of course. I'm in the process of putting a few things together for a next book, because there is a lot of the original content that didn't go into this book. The purpose for this book was never to scare no one, but I wanted to bring reality from my perspective. A lot of people that read the book, especially in my community, are people that are saying, wow, really? You understand? So I need to pen another book. This is the first edition. We are working on the second edition. People will also need to understand how I came to be where I am right now.
I can't wait for the second edition. And also can't wait, man, to go through this one, because it is very interesting and speaks to a lot of people. Your story is very inspirational and motivational on this beautiful Monday right here. So in conclusion, if there's a young person right there who's watching and they're feeling stuck or tempted to doing a drugs, what message do you have for them?
Don't do it. Do not do it. My introduction to drugs was one of the most beautiful things of my life. If I had to be reintroduced to drugs, I would say yes again, because of how beautiful the introduction was. But the problem is, when they introduce you to something, they don't give you the full purpose of content. You understand? You will only understand once you inside it. Wow, I didn't want to come here. So rather stay as you are. It's only a facade. That's all. Don't do it.
Thank you so much. So if someone is watching right now, they want to reach out to you, or they have a child who is suffering from a drug addiction, where can they find you?
My telephone number is 082-543-1302. That's 082-543-1302. I also use that number on WhatsApp. Then I'm on TikTok. On TikTok, I'm at Gladston Booysen. At Gladston Booysen, GLADSTON I'm also on Facebook as Gladston Pawela Booysen. I'm on Instagram at Gladston Booysen. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
if they want to grab a copy of your book,
Contact me, or they can contact you. You
Yeah.
will contact me.
all right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for taking your time to be with us right here on the Vuga Breakfast Show. And I mean, with the second edition, we're looking forward to you coming back again.